Hey guys, Poledoo here, bringing you another ORAS Wi-Fi battle. This is another UU battle, but I made a new team this time. It's kind of trick roomy, but it can also function without it. But anyways, this battle is against CatRoast. If you guys watch me and Toby's Storm Silver Random Lock Save Swapper, the Doppellock variant in that was created by this guy. This is the CatRoast that created the Doppellock. So, link to his channel will be in the description, so go check him out. So on our side, we have Dianchi, we have Randy Savage, the Mega Swampert, we got Kamina, the Escavalier, Toby the Zatu, RavMoney.exe, the Porygon 2, and Blaze the Chandelier. And on the other side, CatRoast has Scrafty, Rotom Heat, Kafagrigus, Milotic, Hitmontop, and Raikou. So, without further ado, let's get this going. So, I lead off with Dianchi, thinking he might lead with the Hitmontop and try and get up Stealth Rocks. But I was wrong. He leads off with that Raikou, which is fine, because I am going to be able to tank whatever this Raikou wants to throw at me. And I'll also be able to get my rocks up. And he goes for the Volt Switch, so I kind of figured the Volt Switch was coming. That's what most people do when they lead with Raikou. It's usually Choice Scarfed. But he goes out into Moody, his Milotic. And I do not want to stay in. I'm not quite sure what Milotic set he is running yet. But I just know Dianchi does not want to stay in. So I go into Toby. And Toby has a Trick Room, U-Turn, Nightshade Zatu. But don't get to do anything because he Dragon Tails me right out. But luckily, I go right into Randy Savage. I get my free Mega going, and I believe I go for the Protect here to get my stats right away without being touched. I also wanted to, I went for the Protect. I also wanted to scout for the Scald, but he goes for the Ice Beam. I guess predicting me to go straight back into Zatu, maybe? I don't know. But I just go for the Earthquake. I'm like, oh, he went for Ice Beam. I'm just gonna Earthquake. Does a lot of damage, but he Dragon Tails me out again. And this time it's back into Dianchi, which is just gonna give him another free turn, because Dianchi's not really gonna be able to do anything. I do stay in because I'm like, alright, you're gonna keep Dragon Tailing me around. And then he shows me he has the Recover as well. So, fair warning, the start of this match is a bit stally, a bit, not a whole lot gets done. A lot of status effects and stally stuff. But anyways, I go for the Diamond Storm, hoping, Milotic has lower physical defense than special defense. Maybe he'll do something good, but at the same time, Dianchi's physical attack is not great on this set. It's a special, well, it's mainly just for bulk. Attack is secondary when it comes to this Dianchi. But I did get the physical defense raise once, and I decided to go for it again. I don't know why, because it's not going to help me. It's Milotic. It's a special attacker. But there showed me the Scald, and that is what I was wanting to see. I saw all three of the other moves, like, what is your fourth? Of course it was the Scald. We got the burn on Dianchi, which is fine. I mean, I have it's pretty much just canceling out leftovers. But I go for the Moonblast. I get the special attack drop. I'm like, alright, I think it's safe to switch out. So, we try this again. We switch out right back into Toby, and we're gonna try for the trick. Goes for the Scald again, of course. I mean, I don't see why you do anything else at this point, but he gets the burn on Toby. Which again, is fine. Toby is not really here to kill things. Toby is here to trick. It's Choice Scarfed. So the Milotic now has a Choice Scarf, and I get them lefties. Which, as long as I get rid of the leftovers from the Milotic, I really don't care. But it's Choice Scarf into Recover. So he's either going to stay in and spam the Recover while I try and touch it, or he's gonna switch out. I use that turn, he does switch out. I use this turn to set up my Trick Room to see if I can get anything going. He goes into his Rotom Heat, and this Rotom Heat, I've never seen this set of Rotom Heat before. It caught me off guard really, really badly. But he has the leftovers on this too. I think like everything he has leftovers pretty much, which was rather annoying, but it is what it is. And so I go for the U-turn, and first of all I'm like, okay, why are you slower than my Xatu? I did not expect that. But then he shows me the Hex. I'm like, what? I've never seen Hex on a Rotom. I mean, I know it can learn it, but I've never seen a Hex set before on Rotom anyways. I've seen it on, like, Cofagrigus, which he will show in a bit. But he switches out, and that makes me think that he doesn't have the Willow. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into Randy Savage, go for the Waterfall. If he has the Willow, I'll find out after I hit him with the Waterfall. But he switched out into Body Bag, his Cofagrigus. I take the Mummy, which is fine. I don't have Rain Dance to get the Swift Swim, so it's not a big deal to me. But I'm like, okay, so if the Rotom Heat didn't have Will-O-Wisp, this thing has Will-O-Wisp. So I go into Blaze to try and counter that, but he goes for the Toxic instead, which, again, did not see coming. I was like, what is going on? I'm getting outplayed here, out-predicted. And of course, he goes for the Protect. I guess, 1, to get more toxic damage on me, and 2, to see if I was going to go for the Shadow Ball or not. I should have gone for the Calm Mind, because that Blaze has Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, and Calm Mind with the Air Balloon, as you saw when he came in. But he's going to switch out, going to Hoodlum his Scrafty. Get the Intimidate, not going to matter. But he's going to... I did go for the Shadow Ball again. He's going to eat that up. He has leftovers too, of course. So I'm like, alright, well, he's probably gonna use some dark type move on me, so I'm gonna get out of here, and I go back into Diancie because if I get a Moonblast off, it will be ×4 effective. I'm like, I think Scrafty can learn Iron Head. I feel like it's a move he can learn, and it's pretty unconventional, but I wanted to run that risk. Didn't really matter though, as you will see here after all this burn damage and leftovers recovery, because he withdraws. He knows one Moonblast is gonna take him out. He goes into Rotom Heat, and again, this Rotom Heat is going to surprise me with his moveset. I go, like I said, I was going to go for the Moonblast. He'll eat that up because he's Rotom Heat, he's bulky, and resists it. And so he predicts the Diamond Storm. He either predicted the Diamond Storm or predicted a switch into Randy Savage. Either way, he made the right play in this case. He went for the Reflect. Again, I've never seen a Rotom carrying Reflect. So... this Rotom Heat, this might be a common set. I've never seen, I mean, I don't see Rotom Heat a whole lot as is, but I've never seen this set, especially on Rotom Heat. I get the defense raise on the Diamond Storm that he just eats up. Pretty much just a tickle to this oven. A little easy bake over here. And I'm just sitting here taking damage, and I decided, you know what, it's not worth switching into someone to take the hit. We'll just take the Hex, and Diancie is down. So I'm like, alright, well, I kind of see where this is going. He has the Hex, he has all these status ailments. And I was like, but he switched out whenever I thought he was going to Willow. But nope, I got just fooled again because he really did have the Willow. I thought he was going to switch out. I went for the Earthquake to hit whatever he was going to switch out into, but of course, like we just saw, he didn't switch out, and now I'm burned. So now I switch out because I know the Hex is coming. I go into ravmoney.exe on my Porygon 2, Trace's Levitate, which really isn't going to help me a whole lot. He's gonna Hex, not gonna touch me. And this is where things get interesting. So, he goes for the Willow, which is fine by me. I would rather be burned than be toxicked by the Cophagrigus. And I toxic him in return, so we're just trading status elements at this point. And here is where Rav Money comes through. I go for a tri-attack, because there's really nothing else to do at this point. But he Volt Switches out, and he's gonna go into Momo, his Hitmontop, who eats this tri-attack up, but hacks are on my side, as you will see here. Get that tri-attack, eating that up, boom, frozen. And I was like, oh my god. And that is a huge deal. But I forgot. I forget about it later. But I want to get out just in case he gets the first turn Dethaw. I go into Kamina, who is about to commence work on CatRoast's team. Kamina has, like, the slowest speed known to man. Which is the main reason he's with the Trick Room Zatu. But that's fine. I go for the knockoff, figuring if he doesn't stay in whatever he goes out into, I'm taking your item. He recovers, and I go for the Mega Horn. I don't have... oh, I don't remember the ability. Escavalier has... it's not a hidden ability. Oh, I forget. He has Shell Armor instead of the other one that increases Bug-type moves. I don't think it really mattered in this battle, but I might use an ability capsule to change that. I'm not sure yet. But as you see, the Mega Horn does a hefty sum on my Lodig, and then I go for the knockoff just in case he wanted to save it for whatever reason, because it would have killed it, or if he switched out, I would have taken another item. He goes into Raikou. I'm Assault Vested, by the way, so I'm not afraid of this thing at all. He Volt Switches. I just go for another knockoff. So it doesn't matter what he goes into. He goes into Rotom, and I take damage from the Stealth Rocks, then the knockoff, and if the knockoff didn't kill, the toxic damage would have. And just this, I was like, oh my god, what is happening right now? He goes into Hoodlum, and he does get the Intimidate off of me, but I want this thing's leftovers too. He goes to the Drain Punch, which does a lot more than I expected it to. Didn't do a, like, terrible amount, but it was a lot more than I expected to see. And my knockoff does nothing, as you see. But I take his leftovers from him, which is a win in my book. So I go out into Blaze, predicting the Drain Punch, which was a correct prediction, for once, you know. Eat that up, and here is where I forget I froze the Hitmontop. I go for the Flamethrower, and he predicted the Flamethrower, goes back into Momo, and I dethaw it for him. The Flamethrower was not enough to kill it, unfortunately. Had I gone for, like, the Calm Mind or something, it would have been perfect. It would have been, I would have won, but because of that, Momo will come back and bite us in the butt soon enough. So Raikou comes in. I'm like, alright, well, this thing has just been Choice Scarfed, just switching in and out. I go for the Flamethrower. Hope to do as much damage as I can. Does a decent sum, though. I will admit, did a pretty good sum. Because, well, the Flamethrower was going on the Hitmontop, so it goes in. But I switch out into Randy Savage, predicting another Volt Switch, but no. He's carrying the Shadow Ball, of course, so that does a lot more damage than I wanted Randy Savage to take, especially since he's burned. And take another hit, live on 17 HP, and I get the Earthquake off. So for some reason I thought he was going to switch out, like, some reason I'm like, alright, well, I'm going to switch into Randy Savage, he's going to be afraid, he's going to switch out, I'm going to go for the Earthquake, whatever he brings in is going to die. I don't know why I thought he would just... why not just stay in if Shadow Ball did that much? Just hit me with another Shadow Ball. It just didn't process until after. It was like, oh yeah, that... duh. So he brings in Hoodlum back in, and which I guessed was going to be the next one to come in. I go into Blaze just to kind of eat up the Intimidate and sack off Blaze. I knew Blaze was dead here. I just needed something to kind of take the Intimidate. And so we go into Kamina. And I'm just hoping Kamina has enough HP to live one more Drain Punch. He does, living on 10. And I land this Mega Horn one-shotting this Scrafty, which I'm very glad I one-shot. So he is just down to Momo and Body Bag, his Hitmontop and his Kafagrigus. But unfortunately, the Momo his Hitmontop does have the Fake Out. Not too surprised there. And so it's all down to Rav Money. I trace the Technician. Again, it's not a trace that's going to help me. Close combat, I live it. If I wasn't burned, I would have won. If I wasn't burned, I would have won. Because this Thunderbolt takes him out, but the burn takes me out. If I wasn't burned, I would have outsped the Kafagrigus, got a Recover off, Toxic, and it would have been GG. In my favor, but it came down to the wire there, and it was a really, really fun battle. So again, CatRoast made the Doppellock. If you don't know what that is, go to his channel, check it out. And his channel is in the description, so check him out regardless. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle. It was a rather long one. Had a bit of a slow start with the kind of stully tactics and status ailments and whatnot. But it ended really, really close. So, again, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we will see you later.